But he was working out with Reggie Miller in the off season, and Reggie was telling Kobe everything that Mike used to do, stuff that would beat him, that worked against him, cause he just this a young dude. He helped. Then when they actually faced off against each other, Kobe hit Reggie with all the same moves that Mike hit Reggie with that Reggie couldn't stop. Reggie was like, I literally just taught this dude how to beat me. So Kobe wasn't just watching film and being like, oh, so Mike did the little shoulder shimmy, blah blah.
Right.
No, he was asking Reggie, okay, when he did this, like, what did that do? And Reggie was like, oh, well, he did that because he knew I was gonna blah blah blah. So it wasn't just copy the moves; he was copying the why. This is why he did it, not just what he did. This is why he did it
So
when he did
smart.
it in the game. So I was just like,
That's that mama mentality.
there's
Mama
people.
mentality.
People will see the stuff on the court, and they just figure they just want to copy that. Like guys, everybody wants to shoot 3-pointers now because
Like Steph.
people want
At
to
half
point
court.
out, yeah, dang, logo Lillard. I'm gonna just pull up, and they practice that stuff, and they get good. But you know how good you have to be, not even good, how great you have to be to literally copy someone's whole style and make it your own, but then be able to adapt to the changes in the game.
It's the IQ. It's the basketball IQ. He was just studying and on the court, off the court, every single little thing.
So it's like the chicken or the egg. Like, which came first, the chicken or the egg? Because, like, Kobe had the benefit of having Phil Jackson, right? Mike had Phil Jackson. So it's like, did these players make Phil great? I mean, obviously he's a great coach, but, like, the levels that he got to, I think it's a little bit of both. Same with Tom Brady and Bill Belichick. They could be successful apart, but together they're just like
unstoppable.
Because you have a coach's mind on the floor carrying out a system that nobody else can mess with, and then you put the pieces around them. Yeah, but those kind of stories, like, that's the kind of stuff I like. Like, just thinking about Kobe, those stories that players will tell, like the inside scoop, and that's like a perk I have. It's crazy. Just last night on Facebook, one of my boys posted something like, he's like, you think a breakup is hard, you ain't never been chewed out in the film room. And that's something that is like only players can relate to that. Because it's like, basically, if you take a person that works like a desk job or something, they work in a cubicle.
Right.
And you have performances that you have, objectives to complete by the end of the week or whatever. But imagine a camera sitting there recording every keystroke, everything that you're doing, every phone call you make. Like, they say the calls are maybe monitored for whatever.
Yeah.
But imagine like a video camera sitting there recording you at your desk, like everything that you're doing. And then at the end of the day, you come into work the next day, your boss sits down and is like, okay, we're going to watch the film of what you did for these 8 hours. Like, oh, what was that? Oh, spell check, didn't catch that. You made a typo here. And just rewinding the tape and just point out everything that you did. That's what it's like being a professional athlete. So that's why there's so much study that goes into it.
I can't even imagine. It's like when I interned at CSM Bay Area, I was the one in the back, like literally second for second. So and so passed the ball, assist to this person, having to put all
Everything
the
that happened.
every little line, and I'd have to put it because guys would need it. The anchors would need all that stuff. So I would be at least an hour behind with the game, even knowing who won. Just assist to
That's literally play by play, like
literally
stuff that
play
even
by
is
play.
not a factor in
And
the
that's
game.
how I think Kobe's mind worked, like a lot. He would just know play by play, even without looking at film. He would just know.
Yep, same. LeBron, they were like praising LeBron for that because he gave like a recap of like the last 3 minutes of a game and said everything that happened, every pass, not just he passed him the ball and he scored. It was like this person passed here and they did that. Being able to go back and replay stuff, that's a gift for one, but that's definitely something that's what sets the great ones apart. Like the film will show you what you did, and a lot of times we may experience something and we remember it differently than it actually happened. My dad used to tell my little sister when she'd be telling stories, let your imagination tell the truth. She'd be like, oh, Daddy, I imagined that. Let your imagination tell the truth. In other words, you making stuff up. But it's not. It's happened because when I was little, no joke, we'd be outside playing football. Street lights came on, had to get my butt inside. I come inside like, Dad, man, you should have seen me, man. I had 18 catches for 746 yards and 9 touchdowns, and I shook this dude. And so he's just sitting like, oh, okay, son, that's great. And in my mind, that's what really happened. I might have only caught like 3 or 4, but it seemed like it was 18. So now when I have my son come in and tell me stuff that he did, we had like technology is different now. We can film
like,
stuff.
Wait, roll that back. Let me see
so,
real quick.
Yeah, he was just like, Dad, yeah, I ran this route and I gave this guy this little and then the ball was up and I stretched out, I caught it, fingertips, and I had to tuck and roll and scoop it up and held the ball up. I was like, oh, that's what's up. I was like, great. I was like, is that what really happened? I was like, we got the eye in the sky. We can go watch the film. Yeah, Dad, that's what it was. So we go watch the film. He did catch the touchdown. He did make a diving catch, but it was more like what he thought was he kind of just and then the ball was there and he caught it, took a couple steps, and then fell and rolled. It was just like a like he made himself go to the ground, but at the same time, the way, because in our minds everything is that much bigger. Stuff is bigger than life. So with Kobe, same thing. He was bigger than life. Everything he did on the court, whether you were a fan or not. So when Kobe first came to the league, I was a big AI guy. So obviously that's like our tribe. And I wasn't one of those. I wasn't a Kobe hater, but it was just like I mean, I was like, okay, dude came to the league out of high school. That's cool. The first thing I remember about Kobe was them air balls. I was like, man, they got rid of Eddie Jones, and this dude in here. So I think Eddie was still there, but yeah, like he was still there. But it was like, dude got the ball head. Like Kobe was he was just trying to be like blended with his teammates. Like but it was like he wouldn't take the shot. Was it in Utah they was playing? I think it was Utah in first round of the playoffs, something like that. But game on the line, he takes the shot, air ball.
Yep, I remember.
Game still on the line, another possession, he comes back down. Air ball. And I'm like, oh, this dude is getting cut.
Like, don't give him the ball.
He's not going to stop giving him the ball. Like, but that says something about his mentality even then. Like, one of my favorite Kobe quotes. I mean, everybody talk about he don't pass the ball. Whatever. Sometimes I'm the best on the team. You know I'm the best on the team. I know I'm the best on the team. I'm going to take the shot. Yeah, but you got 5 people on you. Yeah, but at least it's not 6. That would be illegal. Can't be that many people on the court. I'm taking the shot. But his, I think it was like Darren Williams, whatever his name is. I think he played for the Nets. He went like 0 for 9. And Kobe was like, I'd rather go 0 for 30 than 0 for 9. I'm like, what? 0 for 30? 0 for 9 means you gave up on yourself. Like you lost confidence in yourself, so you stopped shooting. Like you took yourself out of the game. Over 30, I just had a bad night, but I'm still keep putting that.
He's gonna keep putting them up. So, hello, you guys. You guys have probably heard we're talking about Kobe. Unfortunately, it's been a year. It's been about a year since his passing, and it's still, even for me, it's still a big shock. As I'm a huge Laker fan, big Kobe fan. So today we're just gonna celebrate his life, celebrate his legacy. Celebrate, who he was to us, what he was to the game, what he did outside the game. I'm going to introduce myself. I'm Tori.
I'm Rome.
So it's not going to be as big of a back and forth, harping on each other as much, I don't think.
It's still whose side are you on? It's just a special edition, a little celebration of Kobe life.
Yeah.
Let's get into it.
Let's go. First of all, we want to acknowledge all those that lost their lives on that horrible helicopter crash, along with his daughter Gigi, a whole family. May they rest in peace. I can just say that day was a shock for me, a huge shock. I didn't believe it because literally just the night before, he had congratulated LeBron on passing him for points all time. So I just thought, what is going on? Nope. They're talking about his daddy? Who? His family? What? Somebody else named Kobe? And I was at work. Literally got to leave work early because I just couldn't. I didn't believe it.
Yeah, I think it was a lot of people that day that immediately went to YouTube and started pulling up all the highlights. Want to see everything that he did on the court. Even more, because I got to see him play a couple of times here in Sac against the Kings. The game when he had like the big Michael Jackson boxing glove on his hand and did like the reverse dunk.
Yeah.
Like I was at that game,
Oh, man.
and I saw him play his last game against the Kings on his farewell tour. I'm sitting there taking pictures that he's at the free throw line. He's not even shooting at the free throw line. Take that back. Somebody else is shooting. He in the blocks. I'm taking pictures like, man, it's Kobe. Like, what do you say when you shoot something in the trash can? You ball up a piece of paper. What do you say when you shoot?
Kobe.
Everybody says Kobe.
Everybody.
Now, I take that back. It's a generational thing.
Yeah,
Because
that's true.
when I was little, when we would jump up and slap the door frame above the door frame and get threatened to have to wash walls, you leaving handprints on my... It was Michael Air Jordan. Slap the backboard type thing. But then you get a little bit older, shooting something in the trash can is Kobe. Now, kids are saying Steph or Mellow. I don't know what they saying. Mellow ball. He be pointing from half court.
Be specific. You gotta be specific though.
Not Hoodie Mellow. Not Carmelo Anthony. Not that Mellow.
I'm just saying, clarify for the people.
Hi, Lala. I just wanted to say hi. I'm a big Honey Nut Cheerios fan. I had to change the mood, and I was about to get sad talking about Kobe. I had to change it up.
It's hard
But-
to, because it's just, he was the man. I remember when I first saw him at Oracle against the Warriors. It was the year Lakers won the championship, 2009. And I had my little, what was those cameras? The wind?
Oh, with the little.
Yeah. I had those little,
I forgot the class.
yep, all those.
Yep, I remember those.
I had that. And
Polaroid.
It was the Polaroid. It was the Kodak ones.
The
that you
instant,
bought. Yeah,
yeah.
the instant ones. And I bought it from Walgreens on my way up to Oakland.
Disposable. That's
Yep,
what they're called.
the disposable cameras. And I'm literally, as soon as this man runs into Oracle, I didn't care about anything else. It's just like, he's just sitting. He's sitting on the bench. Who's he talking to? What's he doing? Oh wait, he moved. What's going on? Just every move this man made, I was just eyeing him and just in awe that I'm looking at one of the greatest players ever.
So if we look at just by the numbers, Kobe basically had 2 Hall of Fame careers, right?
Mm-hmm.
So what's your pick, 8 or 24?
Oh man.
Small Fro Kobe or Black Mamba?
Mamba.
You go
I
to
just-
Mamba?
I
You
just-
didn't like big bubbly Adidas shoe Kobe?
I did.
What?
I
the
did,
crazy
but
eights, you know?
with the big cheesy smile. No, I liked that gritty, like in your
Sprite
face when
commercial
he'd make
Kobe.
that ugly face after he'd make a shot. It was a really ugly
Let me
face.
see you make the face.
No, I'm not gonna make the
Make
face.
the
It was
face.
no.
Tori.
Heck no. Nope.
Tori.
Nope.
Tori.
He's gonna keep saying my name, and
Tori.
I'm not gonna do it. Nope.
Tori. Make the face. No. Tori. No. Make the face. Or like the bite in the jersey Kobe.
Oh,
Or the,
yep.
That Kobe.
That Kobe, the one that who would tell the media, I don't care who we're playing. I don't care how historical this Celtics game is. It's still a game.
Job not finished.
Job not finished.
Still waiting for a big smile out of you. You're up 2-0. What's the story? Are you not happy, or you're only half happy, or
Still to be happy about.
you're up 2-0?
Job's not finished. Job finished? I don't think so.
Okay.
Job not finished. So
That Kobe.
you wasn't on the so I can't lie. I used to think Kobe was kind of corny, like when he first came out. Not being a hater or nothing, but I'm like, okay.
When you try to be a rapper.
He was rapping in Italian. Didn't he do a song with Brian McKnight or something like that? Like, come on. Come on. It's like, that's like when the American Idol, when you have people and they go in there and be like, your family should have told you.
I mean, but he met Vanessa on set of his music video.
But he had Brandy before that. Like, if Kobe would have did a song with Brandy, okay, that would have slapped. But not rapping in Italian. But that just goes to show what people appreciate. Because back then, people didn't appreciate that kind of stuff. It's like you got this black man from Philly that's well-traveled because he grew up in Italy because his dad played.
Three different languages.
Right, speaks languages. Actual student of the game. The reason he couldn't relate to a lot of people because when everybody else wanted to go out and have fun, he's studying. He's trying to get better. Because that was his craft. And that's what it means to really be. Now, he did go to the clubs. Like, when his teammates would be like, man, come on, Kobe, you got to go out with us. It was under conditions, though. It's like, all right, if I go to the club with y'all got to go to the gym with me. Get up and go to the gym in the morning.
At what time?
It's sometimes 4 or 5 a.m. Like, on some crazy.
Right, that's right after you leave the club.
After who leave? What time do you be getting home?
Don't worry about it. Anyway, that's all. Anyway.
Birthday girl. So you going to the club?
No, it's Kobe.
It's Kobe.
You can't do that.
I mean, you shouldn't. But depending on what state you're in, I mean, in California, we on lockdown, right? But I've seen some Instagram live videos where I'm like, wait, is this a Throwback Thursday? Or, oh, no, this is live.
No, I ain't going to no clubs.
People are touching other people? They're not.
Nope.
6 feet doesn't exist.
I'm going to celebrate my birthday in a different way. Yep.
Bible study. Sipping tea. Singing hymns.
I can't lie in church. So on that note, so what would you say? It's 8 or 24? Because then I'm going to throw a wrench in it. 8 with Shaq. 24, Pau Gasol.
You saying who would I choose?
Like, it was like
so you got to remember,
duo.
I wasn't a Kobe fan, so this is coming from. I'm looking from the end all the way back to the beginning. I wasn't on the journey like what's gonna happen next. Like I wasn't rooting against him, except for the year they played the Sixers. Because like I said, hey, I'm a man. So, like, outside of that, it was just oh man, this dude is trying to be like Jordan. That's not a bad thing. I mean, you look at Christians, right? If someone on the outside was looking at it like, oh, this dude walking on water, he probably because he can't swim. Or, oh, this dude just trying to be like Jesus. Like, that's a bad thing, right?
So it's like, this dude's trying to be like
That's
Mike.
actually
He's
the
not.
goal. Like, that's what everyone should aspire to do. Like, if you call yourself a Christian, a follower of Christ, you should want to be like Jesus. So, if for the sake of the argument, Michael Jordan is the GOAT. I know I said LeBron early on. Listen, that was for TV. All right? I know Mike is the GOAT. But I had to make an argument, and I still won.
No, according to the Instagram polls,
It was
he
like
was
6
wrong.
people that voted on that. And I think you have 5 Instagram accounts. So we know that it was all you. Stuff in the ballot box. I demand a recount.
No, not at all. I would never.
Listen,
I would
false
never.
news.
I would never. We
The
could put the poll up on,
the
and I would
good
show
people
who
in the
voted.
Proud Boys
Okay.
would vote for me.
Wait. Hold on. Did you say Proud Boys?
Stand by, stand down.
Let's not.
They didn't.
They did not.
That was crazy.
That was intense.
That was super crazy.
That's okay. We're celebrating.
We are celebrating, but I think
but
somebody
that-
like Kobe would have something to say about that.
Oh,
What you think Kobe would say about that in terms of like the state of the nation? Because we know, guys, we know what Kyrie is saying, right? Kyrie's like refusing to play.
Yep.
I mean, this was a couple weeks ago, but he was pretty much like, I don't feel like playing because of what happened at the Capitol right after it happened.
Yep.
He's like, there, and so
What's the
people are
reason?
being like pretty much on the same hole. Shut up and dribble. Like guys
Yeah.
like Kyrie have been outspoken. LeBron has been outspoken.
I mean, they wore the shirts. I can't breathe. When Kobe, was it 2015?
with Eric Garner.
Yep. And it's crazy just how much that photo still remains true today.
Mm-hmm.
Like I don't think he was as outspoken, but he did enough to where you knew whose side he was on.
Mm-hmm. So in terms of politics, like there are a lot of professional athletes. It's becoming more of a trend now that'll speak up on this kind of stuff, and not just race relations, but women's rights, all that kind of thing. Kobe was kind of a pioneer in that field for male basketball players to really speak up on behalf of the women players, the WNBA, just developing the game as a whole, and not really being about a gender thing, but it's just the game of basketball.
I mean,
the
the
stuff
man
he did
had
off the court, right?
4 girls, 4 daughters, and I'll be honest, I was one of them. Like, when is this man gonna have a son? To just carry on that Mamba mentality, carry on that.
What was the interview? The interview he did.
The interview with
Carson. Is it Carson?
No.
Daly. What's the dude's
Kimmel.
name? Jimmy Kimmel. I said Carson. Who's Carson? Jimmy Kimmel. I know it's one of them Tonight Show people. It's been a whole bunch. The late night.
Yep.
Late
late
tonight,
night,
late tonight,
the
tomorrow,
Tonight
whatever.
Show, the late night, the late night, all those.
Yeah, with Jimmy Kimmel, where he was just like Gigi was there when somebody was asking them,
when you gonna have a son?
she's like, that. It's cool. I got this.
The best thing that happens is when we go out and fans will come up to me and she'll be standing next to me and they'll be like, hey, you gotta have a boy. You and V gotta have a boy, man. You have somebody carry on the tradition, the legacy. She's like, oh, I got this. You know, boy for that. I got you. Like, that's right. Yes, you do. You got this.
I got this. And just watching her play, seeing the clips of her actually play, she mimicked his every move. Even the jersey in the mouth. She did that, and he was just coaching girls who knew nothing about basketball, and turned them into really, really good players. And he started wearing. I remember specifically he was wearing the WNBA hoodie on the court side of was it the Nets game? I believe it was a Nets game, and he was sitting with Gigi. And from that moment on, people wanted to know about that hoodie, because it was a bright hoodie, but people wanted to know about that hoodie, what it meant, and it was for the WNBA. And then everybody started wearing it. All the athletes started wearing that hoodie just because of Kobe, and just started bringing awareness to women's basketball.
Yeah, some stuff is even unspoken, and you don't even realize what's going on until after the fact. But that was one of those things, like, he didn't have to go out and campaign per se, but just being who he was, people are naturally going to gravitate to whatever it is that he's doing. And I actually read somewhere that he was trying to leave Nike to start his own company, Mamba, whatever, for apparel and shoes and stuff, and basically to give ownership to players of the brand.
Now, giving players a taste of ownership. Now that they make money now just off their brand alone and off their contracts, but that. So
if they think about it though, if they're making money, like they're getting peanuts, they're getting a percentage of whatever the global marketing and all that kind of stuff. So they're benefiting, but this is something, ownership, that's something that you could pass down, right? You could pass that down to your kids.
Your kids, just
people invest in stocks. That pours into the business.
Kobe acquired 10% of Body Armor.
Body Armor. When everybody was just drinking Gatorade and Powerade, he did his research and was like, yeah, no, I like Body Armor. Not afraid to be different. And I mean, when he first came onto the scene, it was, you take the traditional approach of, like, he signed with Adidas, and then like he had like the Sprite commercials. That's another one of them corny moments that I remember. The commercial with Kobe and Tim Duncan. No, when he had like the crew, like Kobe and Tim Duncan was playing one-on-one, and they had dudes rapping, like narrating what was going on. It's like, Kobe Bryant, slam dunk giant, outplay the Kobe, son, don't try it. And I'm sitting there like,
I'm the Tim Duncan.
And he ain't front end, drives the rock, and he'll show you something.
Kobe Bryant, slam slam dunk giant. Outplayed the Kobe, son, don't try it.
It's Kobe and Tim, both game with tight. Grabbing points like they grab a Sprite. Game action like movie stunts. Obeying their thirst with Missy scoring points. Obey your thirst, Sprite.
Guys. But that's what you like. You know what I mean? He was the clean cut. He had the image. He had the image of being like
The Colgate smile.
almost like America's son, like almost like the Theo Huxtable image, if you will. I went to a predominantly white school for college, and I can't tell you how many times I was at like, do you know you look like Kobe Bryant? No, I don't. Oh, you kind of look like. No, I don't. Whatever black person was famous at the time. No, I don't look anything. I've heard Tay Diggs. I've heard Usher. Some of those come from black people, so I kind of take it into account.
I
But
can see the Tay Diggs, but the
because
other
I'm
ones-
short and black with tight eyes and nice teeth. But the other ones, like Theo Huxtable. Oh yeah, I saw the Cosby Show with. Can't make this up. I've gone to school with people
okay.
that weren't around people of my hue growing up. So whatever person they saw on television or what image they saw, that's what they expected you to fit into, right?
So it's Kobe.
So in that case, it'd be Kobe. Oh, you play basketball. You kind of remind me of. No, I don't
No.
at all.
I
But
just
I
can't get
get
can't
the
get over that.
association.
I
So,
can't get over that.
but that's the thing though, right? Because if you're held to an image based on what somebody else looks like, or you're held to, they expect you to behave a certain way, when that person breaks the norms or does something not so favorable, now they're gonna look at you the same way.
Well, that kind of ties in.
I think that's where the split came from,
Yeah.
the 8 to the 24.
8 to 24. Because 24 just did not care. It was not the nice boy Kobe. It wasn't the Colgate smile Kobe.
Yeah, Kobe with the little fro, no tattoos,
Nope. He was
hard
tatted.
worker. Yeah. And then 24 comes on the scene, and so that was basically the time when he kind of like was like, I don't really care what everybody else thinks. You guys have these opinions about me, unfounded, unjustified,
Okay.
or whatever the case may be, because of accusations, so on and so forth.
Right.
There's nothing I can do to change your mind about that. I know what I did or didn't do. I can make my corrections and make my
Admit my wrongs.
yeah, and then move forward. And so when he came with he switched. He went from Adidas
Black
to
Mamba.
Nike. It came with the Black Mamba persona. It's like, what's the Black Mamba?
Heck.
The
What the heck
deadly,
is a
the
Black Mamba?
deadliest. So if you ever watch, I'm a big Animal Planet guy, right?
Oh.
I like that stuff. National Geographic, Shark Week, I'm on there. The predators and the world, they have something called like World's Deadliest, right? So they have different spiders. I'm never going to Australia because like 12 out of the 8 things on that list is
I
in
would
Australia.
love to go to Australia.
Man, listen.
I would love to go to Australia.
No. Okay, there was a dude that like goes up on his porch and there's like, it looked like a grown man with a Batman costume, like with the wings outstretched. And it was like a moth or something. Like what is a,
I don't do
what do you,
bugs.
listen, that's not a bug at that point. Like that,
I don't do bugs.
there's stuff that can fly in the air and pick up small children in Australia. And the water spins different way when you flush the toilet. It's a no for me. How Randy Jackson say, it's gonna be a no for me, dog.
It's gonna be a no for me,
Like I'm
dog.
not, yeah.
It's gonna be a no
No,
for me,
thank
dog.
you. I'll watch it on TV, but yeah. But the Black Mamba, first of all, when the snake opens its mouth, the inside of the mouth is black. Right? Who was that? What officer was that? What movie was that? He was like, I don't like black pepper. I don't like this.
Oh.
Take my skin because it's black.
What movie was that?
It was one of them boys in the
Oh
hood
my
era movies.
gosh.
It was around that time, but it was the black officer that just
I
didn't
don't
like
like
black
anything black. Yeah.
But-
You know, it's gonna flash up on the screen once
people. You'll remember him.
it'll
I hate black pepper. I hate black keys on the piano. I hate my gums because they black.
But nah, the Black Mamba, right?
Right.
So it opens its mouth. The whole mouth is black. The thing is quick. So I was watching, what was this show? 1,000 Ways to Die or something crazy. And there was like this animal class. I don't know what it's called.
Celebrating life.
Zoologist. Are they called zoologists? People that study. Zoologists. But there's 2 O's. So if you say zoo and then ologist, you'd have to add an extra O. The ologist that deals with animals. The animalologist. So it was a class and they had snakes. And so they had a black mamba as one of the snakes.
Okay.
And so they're like, okay, we're going to examine why it's alive. I'm not handling those snakes. So the snake gets out of the box or the cage. So the classroom, everybody's
Wait, it could fit
like,
in the box?
huh?
It could fit in the box? How big was the box?
I don't know. The black mamba is not like a big python kind of snake. It ain't like a
boa constrictor?
Nah, it's just like a regular snake. It's
like
just
a garden
black.
snake?
That's not a garden snake, but it's it's a reason.
Like anaconda?
Nah, it's not anaconda. Anaconda is like a huge. It's a regular 6-7 foot snake, whatever, right?
Okay.
It's just black. It's like silver, scaly, black, gray, whatever.
Okay.
The inside of the mouth is black though. The eyes is black. The tail is black. The tongue is black. It's black. And so the snake gets out of whatever the container that it was in. And so the professor's like, okay, nobody be alarmed. We just got to find the snake. First of all,
did she say find the snake?
I'm on the couch like Tom Cruise with Oprah. I'm gonna be on the couch like this, like take that back. I'm not even in the room no more. He said we can't find a snake. I'm out. You understand what I'm saying? I'm gone. But one student volunteers, okay, professor, I'll help you find the snake. And so he got like the little prongs and all this kind of stuff. So they get the snake, they corner him or whatever. They get him, they go to pick him up. Somehow the snake doesn't spit on nobody, doesn't bite nobody. But somewhere along the time of them picking the snake up and then getting him into the box, dude scrapes against the snake somehow. Just like a little scratch. I don't know if like he was like holding it on his hand or whatever. The snake's the mouth.
Oh, okay.
The mouth.
I was like, he just
the snake.
slid
There's
against
no
the
prongs.
snake.
30 minutes later, blood is dead. And they're like, what happened? How did he die? The snake is so deadly. If you come into contact with the venom and any of it gets into your system, you don't even have enough time to find an antidote. Pretty much, you don't have enough time to get to the hospital. It's like if you don't have the antidote right there, like, oh, he got me here. Let me go ahead and shoot that up.
It's a wrap.
That's how deadly the snake is.
So that's how deadly Kobe.
Kobe adopts this black mamba attitude.
I mean, when you put it like that.
When I'm on the court, if you touch me, I'm going to kill you. If you're in the vicinity, I'm going to kill you.
All I can think of when you say that, when you say this, is when he did that. Is when Matt Barnes did that, and he just.
You gotta do the whole thing though, right? So Kobe's standing there, Matt Barnes taking the ball out, Kobe's doing like this. But like Matt did it.
Yeah.
Matt was like, it was at that moment I realized Kobe real. Like he didn't even flinch. Like that's a natural reflex.
All.
Like he didn't even blink.
You know how many times I watched that clip and he's just staring. It's like he didn't even do like anything to see where he was going. He knew he was going to do nothing and just stared him down.
So I guess this is the reason I have to pick the 24 Kobe over the 8 Kobe, because that was 24 Kobe.
That was 24 Kobe.
8 Kobe ran into Chris Childs, and I mean, he didn't flinch, but he definitely, People used to try Kobe because they pretty much is like, oh, you grew up with both your parents. You think you're good at basketball. I'm gonna try you. Like people figure you can't. Exactly.
Had a
like
real
on
good
8.
marriage.
So same scenario. People gonna go at Kobe because they figure, oh, he's good at basketball, but he's not hood enough. Like that's the thing with, unfortunately, within our culture, and I mean it might apply to others too, but I can only speak from my experience. You're either too much of something or not enough.
Yeah. Oh,
like
I can
if
definitely
you're
relate
not,
to
or
that.
you're not hood enough because you grew up here, or you didn't have these experiences, or you had this handed to you. None of that affected how you played on the court, though. Like, you figure they'd be like, oh, yeah, if you want to get good at basketball, you want to get good at this, take your kids down to the hood, let them play with those kids, because those kids are hungry, literally, and those kids are trying to get out. So they're going to want it more. Kobe didn't have those circumstances or that scenario, but nobody wanted it more than Kobe. And, I mean, you see he got robbed of MVPs when he had...
He got robbed of so much.
A couple times. But the year Steve Nash won, like 05, was that 05, 06?
05, 06.
And then Dirk, when Kobe was on all defensive first team, led the league in scoring.
31 points per game.
Had like 5 rebounds, 5 assists, something like that.
And had nobody on the team.
Who was on that team?
Kwame Brown.
Who?
Exactly.
Ain't he a politician? Ain't that a mayor or something like that? What's his name? Kwame Brown?
Bynum. Andrew Bynum.
The dude with the knees.
And the fro, when he tried to go to he had a weird looking fro when he went to the Sixers.
But Andrew Bynum was actually good.
He was supposed to be, but he wasn't
good,
as
but he
good
didn't
as
have
he was
knee.
supposed to be.
If Megan Thee Stallion was around to do a knee transplant back then, Andrew Bynum would still be in the league because her knees are amazing. That's all I'm gonna say. But yeah, he didn't have anybody on that team.
And it was also I think this was with Kwame Brown, and he would pass Kwame the ball.
So they really let a mayor play basketball in the NBA. There's not a. I'm not joking right now. Look it up. There's not somebody that was running for office or something. I could have sworn I seen commercials like Kwame Brown for city council. Are you serious?
Because I know nothing about this. And who else was on the team? Sasha Vujacic?
Who? You making up names?
No. Sasha
Vujacic.
Say
there's a basketball
Sasha
player.
I remember him. He had the floppy curly hair. He was good. Luke Walton.
Luke Walton.
He was on the team.
From the Lake. Yeah, that was the Lakers. The coach of the Kings.
Yep. Lamar Odom.
Which Lamar though? No, this was before the Kardashians. Lamar was good.
Yeah, yes. It's sixth man of the year, Lamar Odom. Yeah, there we go. You know, much respect to Lamar.
I could have swore there was a city councilman named Kwame Brown. I'm really looking it up. Kwame Brown for city council.
But yeah, that was that team. Unfortunately, losing, to the Suns in the first round.
Told you I wasn't making it up. Kwame Brown is an American politician in Washington, D.C., who was an at-large member of the council from 2005 to 2011. So I lived in D.C. No, listen. 2005 to 2011, I used to live in D.C. So I was like, I've heard the name Kwame Brown, and it wasn't associated with basketball. I wasn't just making it up. You thought I was just trying to be funny. Fact check. Thank you.
Excuse me.
Born
Age
October 30th.
50.
50, right. So if that's what I'm saying. He was that's basically the caliber of the people that was on the team with Kobe. Kwame Brown, Sasha, who's your what?
Vujacic.
Oh, Vujacic. Let me look him up.
Sasha Vujacic, and there's just a lot of
Vujac with a V over the top of it, an I and a C with a.
A lot of stuff.
Okay.
So he didn't have a team, and then when I'll say we because I'm a Laker fan, went to the finals.
Mm-hmm.
That was the year. No, that wasn't the year. He didn't get MVP that year either.
It was the next year? Because he got it in 2008.
And we lost the finals.
The year he won it?
Yes, to the Celtics.
No, I thought that was 2010. Well,
No.
2010 was when they won.
2008 lost to the Celtics. 2009 beat the Magic. 2010 beat the Celtics.
Okay, there you go.
And Kobe was, I'll have to admit, trash in Game 7 against the Celtics.
Doesn't matter. It's not how you start, it's how you finish. And his
he
last
finished.
game ever.
I remember that game.
Even back it up before that. Because he said his grandma only seen him play one time. Right? So she came to one game. You know what game that was?
Which one?
The game he dropped 81 buckets.
On
Not
the
buckets, but 81 points.
And guess what?
On Jalen Rose. Jalen
On
Rose
my
will block you on your birthday.
It's my birthday.
He dropped the 81 on your birthday.
January 22nd. Against the Raptors.
Jalen Rose will block anybody on Twitter who mentions 81.
I just think of that commercial.
Now my boy asked him, he's like, hey Jalen, what's 9 times 9? You were blocked from seeing this person's tweets. He blocked him. I'll go find a screenshot. He blocked him. Asked him what's 9 times 9.
And they have a commercial too.
The 81 olives. It's like, no, just kidding, just 2.
Yeah, I'll have a vodka martini.
How many olives would you like?
81.
Really?
Nah, man, I'm just playing. Just 2. Joke for him. He gets it.
Man, we could really literally do this all day and sit and talk about everything that we're fond of, what he did on the court, off the court, winning Oscars, producing short films, writing books, women's sports. Just a genuinely good dude. And a lot of times people say stuff like, you know, gone too soon. But the truth of the matter is we don't know how much time we have on this planet, whether that be a minute or 100 years. And it's about making the most of it and ensuring what we have when we leave here, like leaving a legacy and also securing our place in the afterlife. And you can't do that without having a relationship with God through Jesus Christ. So if that's you and you're like, man, you know what? I don't want to be uncertain about what my life is going to be after. I just want to accept God into my life right now.
And I want to leave a legacy.
There you go. Can I have my ball back now?
No. Whose side are you on?
Mine.
Thanks for watching another episode of Whose Side Are You On? Obviously, you're on my side. Anyways, thank you for watching another episode of Whose Side Are You On? Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, DM us, hit us up, let us know what you want us to talk about, because I'm sure there's a ton of debates out there where, you know, he'll be wrong and I'll be right. So
there's
make sure you...
none of the debates that I'll be wrong about unless you just want me to choose that side. But
stay locked in. Make sure you hit that notification button and stay updated. See y'all later.
Peace.